voice, they used to tell me to speak up. The problem wasn't what I was saying, they couldn't keep up. Instead of moving around with some patience, they tried to speed up. It got colder than a bitter bitch, found me a way to heat up. What's a favor for a favor if we all didn't make it? Kept it 100 with everybody, but they just gon' change. I ain't get caught up in the hype, cause I ain't feel like I made it. Couldn't picture me here now, but here's your moment to frame it. And I ain't never understand that self-entitlement spirit. I felt your vibe, I don't wanna get near it. Before I made the appearance, I took a second, took a look in the mirror. This God law, the only thing that I fear. Y'all got me fucked up. This all passion, it's tradition, it ain't fashion. It's no action, they make threats and it's still passing. I think massive, no respond, that's still tact. Y'all should quit rapping. Cheap shots, I'm cinematic. I ain't average, I'm an overthrow fanatic. How I go, you lose and win like asthmatics. I got first, that's automatic. I'm the best in my division. In the ghetto like the pigeons, in the hood like the engine. You a bird for that chicken. I don't fake split decisions cause my mind made up, nigga. We in the end of time, but my time ain't up. Now when I was young and running wild and wide-eyed like a cabbage patch, I had to get it as vivid, adapted to my habitat. It's certain shit I won't do, certain shit you can't prove. My shit sound like a payday, yours like more when the rent. If I had $1 for every dime you counted, I would be broke. Watch it be close, got a better chance, boxing the ghost. And they know I'm raw, and they know the squad, and I'm feeling large, still in charge. I don't make it follow, I follow the law. Standing tall like they hear on Mars. I just got a call from my bro, he behind the wall, he told me let it off. Niggas lying for some cat, I got a different line in me. Everybody intimidated, I got that guy in me. You get focused on them dimes, I'd rather keep my nine with me. Help me get this off the ground, just know you won't fly with me now.
I try to make the news, I ain't playing by the rules. I've been trying to play it cool, but that ain't gon' be the living. Y'all out here looking like fool. Home with the truth, I ain't never had to choose.
I'm trying to get beamed up, man, y'all trying to make the news. I ain't playing by the rules. I've been trying to play it cool, but that ain't gon' pay the bill. Y'all out here looking like fool. Home of the truth, y'all ain't never had to choose. Trying to get beamed up, man, y'all trying to make the news. I ain't playing by the rules. I've been trying to play it cool, but that ain't gon' pay the bill. Y'all out here looking like fool. Home of the truth, y'all ain't never had to choose. Trying to get beamed up.
I know exactly what they want. I know exactly what they want. Just be patient. My name is my name, power and glory, I never change. Stand on loyalty, remain the same. Say what you mean, speak on my name, you go to war with me. We move the same, you think that it's for me. Running the game, kicking the door with me. All through the pain, the snow, the rain, the ups and downs. My name did more for me, y'all keep the fame. I want the glory, been that nigga, bitches never ignored me. Rich in spirit, little bitch can't afford me. Day one static, fix it with a 4G. Red beam on it, you think I'm recording. Kicking front doors, you try to backdoor me. We are not a gang, bitch, we an army. Book the den, you know I don't tell stories. Keep it 100 in enlightenment. You niggas fake baby K name Adonis. Mini Drake, clip curl, but somehow I can shoot it straight. Insta clip, I can shoot 4 minutes straight. Turn this to the Super Bowl if I need to. I can hit your chief up with an eagle. Set you up on the score, but they lied to you. Why you letting them niggas mislead you? My name is my name, power and glory, I never change. Stand on loyalty, remain the same. Say what you mean, speak on my name, you go to war with me. We move the same, you think that it's for me. Running the game, kicking the door with me. All through the pain, the snow, the rain, the ups and downs. My name did more for me. My name is my name, power and glory, I never change. Stand on loyalty, remain the same. Say what you mean, speak on my name, you go to war with me. We move the same, you think that it's for me. Running the game, kicking the door with me. All through the pain, the snow, the rain, the ups and downs. My name did more for me. You won't see it coming, I move like a crook, a thief in the night. So watch what you put, my aim precise. These bullets 12 inches long, a block away I could take off the foot. Don't ask me no questions if you know my stance. Bitch, I'm the man, so thanks in advance. They mean a rifle on top of a tripod. If they ever tell you I was taking a stand. Think I run up on me, but I'm way too advanced. Spinning with choppers, turn you into a fan. Can show you the steps, but won't hold your hands. They thought they could stop me, it ain't go as planned. How I get this far? Cause I took a chance. Really got ranked, keeping it a band. This ain't what you think, better think again. This ain't what you think, you better think again. My name is my name, power and glory, I never change. Stand on loyalty, remain the same. Say what you mean, speak on my name, you go to war with me. We move the same, you think that it's for me. Running the game, kicking the door with me. All through the pain, the snow, the rain, the ups and downs. My name did more for me. My name is my name, power and glory, I never change. Stand on loyalty, remain the same. Say what you mean, speak on my name, you go to war with me. We move the same, you think that it's for me. Running the game, kicking the door with me. All through the pain, the snow, the rain, the ups and downs. My name did more for me. Went to war with the real, the fake, the snake, the mobsters. Blame it on y'all created this monster. Went to war with the real, the fake, the snake, the mobsters. Blame it on y'all created this monster. Went to war with the real, the fake, the snake, the mobsters. Blame it on y'all created this monster. Went to war with the real, the fake, the snake, the mobsters. Blame it on y'all created this monster.
Serious and you're looking for a Christ man, the one who anointed with the Lord, with the Spirit of the Lord to do his will, I'm that nigga.
One West, 125th Street. Look, y'all put your faith in presidents like they gon' change this country. Run the league and let y'all play cause y'all gon' make 'em money. Fuck Obama, he ain't come here on cargo.
Imagine honor don't like no soldiers with the spirit of the Lord. We don't like no soldiers. You understand me?
The same, black, Hispanic, native, they hate your ass the same. Hate Christ in they image, paint you as a slave. God ain't all love, scriptures say he hate African soft niggas, they know we not the same. School to prison pipeline to get you off the streets. Put you in the cell toilet connected to the sink. Molested as a kid, she prostituted as a teen. The byproduct of Martin Luther King dream. They just took the yoke off, my nigga, we ain't free. We living bleak in these wastelands of poverty. If you don't know the truth, then the lies sound promising. Prophecy, gift and the curse. Dylan started killing, they was sitting in church. Black folk forgave him, man, this shit is absurd. You should never love your enemy, that shit ain't gon' work. Yeah, fuck dying on your knees, you better die in glory. Man, I joined the UPK, taught me the art of warring. I took a nigga life like mine to be recognized. I feel that pain every day, it can't be reconciled. Pops banging, my sister a prostitute. My brother got life, and somehow I still found the truth. War ready, no cowards, no excuse. Fuck reparation.
Hey, Shalom, Yahweh Bashim Shabbat Thumb to all the brothers, Yahweh Shemal Thumb Bashim Yahweh Shai to all the sisters. And again, we're back with our Brotherhood class every Thursday, afternoon, evening, whatever you want to call it, right? Taught by myself, Priest and Officer 500 Baraki Allah, with the I.S.U.P.K. under Commandant General YAHANNA since 1969. We've been teaching the truth about not only the Bible, but the people of the Bible, the most important people in the Bible, on the face of the earth, who are the people that we call today so-called Blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians, who really are the 12 tribes of Israel. Mind you, I said 12 tribes, not 12 lost tribes or lost 12 tribes, because they are not lost anymore. They know who they are. We've been teaching that since 1969 under Commandant General YAHANNA. Understand, the only man fit to lead so-called Blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians in these perilous days, right? And today's topic is correction is love, because a lot of y'all have a misconception of what love is. A lot of y'all think love is some butterflies in your stomach. Love is just a warm feeling that you have inside of you. That's what y'all think love is. Really, y'all don't know nothing about what love is, really. Y'all only have a worldly conception of what love is. You think of love the way you think it is because of what you see on TV. You think love is getting spoiled. You think love is someone agreeing with you. You think the homies on the block love you because whenever you have a problem, they give you some weed to smoke. They get you drunk. You think whatever woman you're dealing with loves you because they gave you a box. You understand? Love, really, we're going to get into what love is. We're going to show you that correction is love, because love is more than just a warm feeling. Love is the homies on the block don't love you. That whore that you're sleeping with doesn't love you because she gave you a box. She's probably using you for money or access to weed. liquor, whatever the case is. You understand? So today we're going to get into what love is, and we're going to understand that correction is love. Your parents love you when they punished you because you misbehaved. That's not them being mean to you. That's love. And understanding that correction is love, you're going to understand that, okay, how can I put this? A lot of our people are always asking, why are we in the condition that we're in today? Why is my people at the bottom of the barrel? Maybe my people is hated by whatever God there is out there, even, just for argument's sake, there's only one God. But this is a question that has been asked in our community all the time. You understand that God must not love us because he doesn't care about us. He keeps us at the bottom of the barrel. And we're going to understand tonight that the fact that we're at the bottom of the barrel, the punishment that we went through is love. It's tough love on a godly level, right? It's not you getting beat by your parents. It's not, getting your Xbox taken away. God took the dominion that you're supposed to have. He took it away from you. Those blessings, he took it away from you for a short moment. But that's tough love as a good parent. You understand? A good parent, you're not going to give a damn about what your kid feels. I'm going to take the Xbox away from you. You want to cry for a whole month? Cry for a whole month. It is what it is. If I tell you come back at 9, you're coming back at 9. You're not coming back at 9:30. You're not coming back at 10. You're coming back at 9. And as a merciful parent, as a merciful father, God gave us multiple chances. And the reason why right now we're in the condition that we're in possibly one of the worst slavery that we're in, because time after time we kept disobeying, right? So first and foremost, let me show y'all what love is. I'm gonna give a shout to the chat. Janice Bale, Shalam, Yahweh Shemala Thabashim, Yahweh Shai, Passion, Yahweh Shemala Thabashim, Yahweh Shai. We're also live on I.S.U.P.K Montreal on TikTok. If y'all want to see the screen on TikTok that I'm sharing, hop on I.S.U.P.K Montreal or Toronto on YouTube or Facebook. All right. But now let's go with the definition of love. And then we'll show you that true love is not letting you do whatever the hell you want and accepting your stupidness. No, true love is correction. If you do something wrong, I'm going to call it out. Why? Because I love you. You understand? In Command and John YAHANNA, love is the only man out here that really loves his people, along with the men under him, Salakia, and the sisters in the school. Outside the I.S.U.P.K, nobody truly loves so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians. Shalom, Yam Yamaya, Washma, Thabashim, Yahushai. Now let's get into it. Let's see what love is so you could understand that. That's the feeling that you have in your stomach. You understand? Forget about that feeling. Right, let's go right into it. Let's go to 1 John chapter 5, verse 3. If anyone has any questions, comments, y'all feel free to put them in the chat. We address any questions, comments, troll or not. Who cares? You're not going to stop the work. Son of David said, where is your blood atonement altar? In whatever temple that there is no more. So let's see what love is. 1 John chapter 5, verse 3. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments. So it's pretty simple. This is what love is. Love is to keep the commandments. It's not this warm feeling in your stomach again. This is what love is according to God. You need to keep the commandments. To be able to love, to be able to receive love. Keep the commandments. And it's not complicated what it says. And his commandments are not grievous. It's a simple thing to just not eat pork. Go through Leviticus chapter 11. Do you know how many lawful animals you could eat? Clean, lawful animals you could eat. You want to settle for pork? Like the nastiest animal in the face of the earth. It's not even the fact that it's just a nasty animal. God said don't eat it, so don't eat it. I never ate pork. I don't know what it tastes like. Even in the word before the UPK, I never ate pork. I cannot tell you I miss the taste or what it tastes like. They say it's the new white meat or whatever nonsense they say. Listen, you should not eat it. Just don't. It's not difficult to not eat pork. It's not difficult to substitute tuna with salmon. And me telling you that you should not eat pork because God said not to, calling you out on the wrong behavior that you're partaking in, their sinful lifestyle that you're partaking in, that's love. I'm telling you, don't eat pork. God hates you because you eat pork. You know. But here's the thing. A lot of y'all are going to reject correction because of the indoctrination of the Christian church, because of Martin Luther King, because of Gandhi. Why am I saying the two of them together? Why does Gandhi have to do with black people? Well, Martin Luther King copied his speech from Gandhi. That phrase that God hates the sin and not the sinner, you know about that because of Martin Luther King, but he knew about that because Gandhi said it. That's nowhere in the Bible. The Bible says God hates the sinner. And because of that, you're not ready to take correction, because I say, you know what? God hates the fact that I smoke, but he loves me. He knows my heart. God looking at you like a bug out. God is in certain instances. In other instances, God is winking at your ignorance because you don't know better. Some of y'all don't even know better, but a lot of y'all know what y'all say. Y'all repeat the nonsense the Christian church told you and say, you know what? Well, the law is done away with, which is some of the one of the dumbest statement ever. Because if the law is done away with, why are you still paying tithes to the church? You understand? If God knows your heart and the law is done away with, I mean, you know, murderers and pedophiles say the same shit. God knows my heart. He hates the fact that I take someone else's life. He hates the fact that I abuse people, but he knows my heart. Guess what? Not one sin is above the other. If you're a drug addict, you're as equal as a child molester. You're as equal as a murderer. You're as equal as a sodomite. There is not one sin above the other. In the I.S.U.P.K, we're here to show you that you should change your life. We're to show you your wrongdoings. What do you think? You think is you think we take pleasure in doing what we're doing? You know, you think I go out? You think we go out on the street with a smile on our face, telling people, you know what, the white man's the devil, and you know, smiling in this oppression that we're in right now. I mean, it feels good to be able to say it freely, but really, when it comes down to it, it's not the fact that we say it that makes us feel good. It's the fact that it's a piece of freedom that we have. You understand? And this is what y'all need to understand, that when we go out in the streets, we're out here teaching our classes from Monday to Sunday, depending on the time zone that you're in, on your region, right? Not only are we here to give you the knowledge that you lack, and that when we give it to you, some of y'all still reject it, we're also here to correct that behavior. The behavior that makes you be a homosexual. The behavior that makes you that accepts you being a drug addict. The behavior that, you know, that makes you not think twice when you're sleeping with someone, not knowing that sex is marriage. And for those who know, y'all just don't give a damn. You know, Shalom, Yakawan, Yabash, Shabbat, Thought, for tuning in, right? But now we're gonna get into, now that we showed you what love is, let's get into the behavior of being a good child. Now, what is, you know, the behavior of being a good child, and what do good children get when they behave? Then we'll see what they get when they don't behave. You're gonna understand that God truly loves Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, which is the reason why we're stuck in the hellish conditions that we're in right now for a short and brief moment. I know it's been 400 or 500 years. To God, 400 or 500 years could be 5 days. It's subjective. It's been long for us. Damn, my great-great-grandfather or great-great-great-grandfather, one of the two, is a runaway slave. Is a runaway slave. You understand? Some people today who still didn't pass away could tell you, well, you know what? My grandfather was a slave or a sharecropper. Slavery was not abolished that long ago. It's been going on for a long time. You understand? So it's understandable that we're so tired of this oppression. But for God, it's just, listen, we're just, imagine being a parent and putting a kid on timeout. Yeah, we're on timeout right now. You're going to see why we're on timeout. You're going to see what would have happened if we would have just listened. But before that, I have 2 questions on TikTok. Right? I can't read the name, but it says, if I punch someone who attacks me, am I as bad than a murderer? Self-defense is not just you beating on people. You understand? You cannot just walk down the street and start punching people. You know, this is not a video game. You're not in Grand Theft Auto. You can't do that. I mean, you could, but listen, to every action, there's a reaction. You understand? But self-defense is not compared to just, you know, murdering somebody. So what causes homosexuality? A lot of stuff could cause homosexuality. First of all, I mean, okay, when it comes to heathen nations who are not Israelites, what causes homosexuality is their nature. Is their nature to be homosexuals. You understand? Look at the Japanese. You think Japanese people, I'm going to get back on topic. I'm just answering a question on TikTok, right? Look at the Japanese people who had the samurais, had their apprentice. They were molesting them. Well, we know what the prophet, police be upon him, did, right? To Aisha and his grandsons. I'm gonna let you look it up. Y'all could go look it up. You understand? The Dalai Lama is sucking on little boy's tongue on live TV. Damn, look at the Greeks and the Romans. The Greeks created the gymnasium, which what is today's gym, and they used to work out naked. It's their nature to be sexual deviants. When it comes to us, Israelites, partaking in such lifestyles is because it's a part of the reason we're punished today. Because we look at the other nations, we want to be like them. That's one thing. Then again, hurt people hurt people. A lot of people who are abused might be bound to abuse someone in the future because that's all they know. But outside of Israelites, it's second nature for them to be, for heathens to being sexual deviants. That's what causes homosexuality. Sexual deviancy, which is second nature for the heathens and Israelites. If they're not hurt, they just copy heathens, which they should not. Because now we end up in the situation that we're in right now. And again, you should not be a homosexual. What you should do, if you are, or if you, for whatever reason, such as abuse or conditioning, you call for counsel. Call the men of the I.S.U.P.K, call for counsel. You understand? It's going to be the best decision in your life. Now, let's see, what do children get when they obey? You understand? But before that, as a matter of fact, because we just seen what love is, which is to follow the commandments, which are the instructions or guidelines that God gave the people, his people in the Bible, let's see who has these instructions to follow. Who are the only one who are punished for not obeying these instructions? Who were these instructions given to? Clearly, there is war around the world. Palestinians are dying one after the other. You know, damn, the Hutu and the Tutsis are unaliving each other. The Ukrainians are being taken over by the Russians. So is everybody punished the same way? Or is it a specific people that is punished a certain way? Only that specific people can be punished that specific way, right? Let's get into Psalms chapter 147, verse 19. Psalm chapter 147, verse 19, where it says, he showed his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. So for time's sake, as I always break down, Jacob, which is the brother of Esau, right, whose name was changed into Israel after wrestling with an angel, is the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel, so-called blacks, Latinos, and natives. And God showed his word, his commandments, his laws. How do you know he's talking about his laws, his statutes? Go Google what a statute is. A statute is a law. And his judgments. His judgments are the punishment. Just like when you're a criminal and you get judged, that's when you get your punishment. When you get sentenced, is the judgment that's being enacted upon you. You understand? So the only people who were showed the laws, the instructions to follow, and the punishment that came with it are Israelites, the sons of Jacob, the nation of Israel. So whatever's going on in the world is just going on in the world. People have no morals and no laws besides us. Don't feel bad for Ukrainians, reuniting with Russians, the Taiwan reuniting with China. People unalive each other every day. What they say, nigga dies every day, B. The point is, we're the only one with a moral code to follow. We're the only one who have instructions to be able to live in this lawless world, society. You understand? And the reason why we die on a greater level than other nations is because we don't obey this moral code. We don't obey these laws. That's why these judgments are falling upon us. Example, right? Apparently Atlanta is like the AIDS capital of the US. A lot of our people, listen, when our people become sodomites, we're the most affected with all venereal diseases. Why us? Why not all the other nations who are sodomites? Because we have laws against being sodomites. So we will get the judgment of the Most High when we partake into those sinful lifestyle. Look at the drug addicts in our community. They don't live as long as Caucasian drug addicts who are on crack. Why do you think so? Because God is not judging them like he's judging us. You understand? They don't have instructions to follow. They don't have consequences that come with breaking laws that they don't have. Right? And these judgments is a form of correction. Just like, how you say, God is taking your breath away because you want to smoke, you want to do drugs. God is taking something away from you. Just like he took, who was it again? It was not Joshua. I'm going to paraphrase, right? A brother was putting his wife before the work of the Lord. God took away his wife. God will take away something from you to punish you. That tough love is going to be the judgment that you get from not listening to the Lord. The Lord said, don't be a sodomite. Well, guess what? Now you have AIDS, or the monkeypox, which is spreading across the face of the earth right now at the moment as we speak. Right? But not all the nations are being judged like we are, because they were not given the laws that we were given. Just like I broke down, right, on Tuesday in French. If you tell your kids to come back at 8 p.m., right, you give that instruction to your kids and your kids only, not to the whole neighborhood. How could the whole neighborhood follow your instructions if only your kids have those instructions? So now, let's say they all come back at 9 p.m., including your kids. You would punish your kids, but would you punish the other kids? No. Why? Because they did not disobey the instructions that you gave to your kids, because it was only given to your kids. Just like God is not punishing these nations for the same behavior that we adopt, because they were not given the laws that we were given. You understand? Let's keep reading. Verse 20, he has not dealt so with any nation. Again, God did not give these instructions to anyone else but us. And as for his judgment, they have not known them. They don't know the punishments of the Most High because they don't know the instructions that the Most High gave the Israelites. Now, again, correction is the topic. Correction is love. You understand? The Most High is showing us he loves us by correcting us. But now let's see what happens when we obey his instructions. And then we're going to get into the disobeying of the instructions and to show that we should understand that the Most High loves us because he punishes us the way we're punished. Especially when we come back to the knowledge of us being Israelites. Because knowing that we're Israelites, we know that we're the people that God gave laws to. God gave instructions to follow. And that with these instructions to follow comes reward and comes punishment. You understand? Now let's get into these rewards because it's pretty straightforward, and then we get into the punishment. Right? Go to Deuteronomy chapter 28. Real quick. In Salakia. Bear with me for a second. Yahawan said, breakdown of 1 Timothy 4:4-5. Yeah, let me get with Deuteronomy first, and I'm gonna address you in a minute, Yahawan. Right. So Deuteronomy chapter 28. Let's start at verse 1, where it says, and it shall come to pass if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. So now, again, it's pretty straightforward. Why we're at the bottom of the barrel? Because we disobey the Most High. If we listen, we'll be in power, and all the nations will be kissing our feet. Not that they don't do it today. I mean, said, good night. Texas is the boot kiss capital of the world. The point is, here's the reward that comes with obeying the Most High. Dominion, power, rulership, which we don't have for a most obvious reason. You understand? Let's jump down to verse 15. Verse 15 says, but it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses come upon thee and overtake thee. The reason why we're punished, the reason why, we're on timeout, we're in captivity, we're in hell, because we disobey the Most High. You could go from verse 15 on down to verse 68, which is damn near my favorite verse because it's undeniable who went through this curse specifically. But you will see all the curses that we went through for disobeying the Most High. For whatever reason. The reason really is that we copy the heathens. We take on their culture. We take on their culture. It's like Adam and Eve did in the garden. They looked around, take on the culture of the heathens, just like the most innocent kid, is looking at the so-called quote-unquote cool kids at school smoking cigarettes. They want to be like the cool kids. They start smoking cigarettes. We look at the heathens. They eat all types of nastiness. You want to be like the heathens. You want to eat crab, lobster, conch shell. What they eat, Yahawan over there? Chorizo. boudin, all types of nastiness. We want to have a free spirit, a free mind, and live an alternative lifestyle like the heathens. So we take on that culture of living an alternative lifestyle. Why? Because the other nations do it. Just like this, the same reason why a lot of our black women decide to wear a blonde wig. Like, what is it with the blonde wig? Why don't you wear a purple? Don't forget about the purple. Why don't you wear a pink wig, a blue one, a red one? Look like the Benjamite sisters. They have all types of colors in their hair. Why does it have to be the blonde hair that is the standard of beauty for women, for black, especially black women? Because you look at the heathens and you want to be like them. A lot of y'all lie to yourself saying, well, it looks good on me. You think it looks good on you because it looks good on a white woman. That's the only reason why you think blonde hair looks good on you. Not because it actually does. You might make the blonde hair look good. The blonde hair doesn't look good on you. You make the wig look good, whatever color it is. But you only put the blonde hair because a white woman have natural blonde hair. That's it. You understand? Give me 1 second. Let me see what Yakawan was asking me. Babakusha. Yakawan said, 1 Timothy 4, chapter 4, verse 4, where it says, for every creature of God is good and nothing to be refused if it be received with thanksgiving. And he said, Christians use this to justify eating pork, shrimp, and lobster. Give me 1 second. I have the breakdown right here, as a matter of fact. Give me 1 second. Da-da-da. Babakusha, bear with me, Yakawan. As a matter of fact, you know what? For time's sake, I'm going to hit you up after class. I'm going to give you the breakdown for time's sake because I can't find it at the moment. I'm going to just hit you up after class. If I could, after class, I'm going to give you the breakdown. And next week, I'm going to break this shit down in class because I don't, just for time's sake, all right? But again, here's the reason why we're punished, because we disobey the Most High. So don't think, don't have an issue with the Most High because we're in hell, we're in captivity, right? Don't do that. I'm going to show you, you should not despise correction. Correction is love. You should not despise correction. It's a good thing that you get corrected, because how do you know you're going to do something wrong if you do it and you don't get corrected? It's like, how you know you're doing something wrong when for instance, what is something wrong that kids do all the time? Like play with their food. How do they know not to play with their food if you don't correct them when they play with their food? You understand? How do they know not to misbehave in class if all they do is misbehave in class and they don't get any correction? Nobody can understand they're doing something wrong if they never get corrected for it. Well, guess what? The Christians that use precepts to say, well, they could eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. You have to show them they can't eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. They don't understand it's wrong to eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. Some nuts came on Beagle one time, the app, where we battle, saying, well, all meat is lawful. Said, no sweat. Can you eat human meat then? He said, no, because human meat is unlawful. Guess what? Pork is unlawful. You're not making sense. You're picking and choosing because you're a hypocrite, just like every single Christian. We have to show you that you're a hypocrite. We have to show you don't know the Bible, because you don't understand that you don't know the Bible. You don't understand, you lack the knowledge of these scriptures that you could only get in the I.S.U.P.K, the Command Angel YAHANNA. Shalom says Shara Yahweh Shema Tabashim Yahweh Shai. Whoever for tuning in on the TikTok. You understand? Let's go to Proverbs chapter 3 real quick. Proverbs chapter 3, start at verse 1. Salakia. Proverbs chapter 3 verse 1 says, my son, forget not my law, but let thine heart keep my commandments. Again, it's not talking about your physical heart. Your physical heart is no good but pumping blood in your rib cage. When it talks about your heart, it's talking about your mind. Don't forget the law. Keep the commandments. And we already seen what happens when we don't keep the commandments. What happens is that we get punished. Go see it, like I showed you in Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15 on down to 68. 68 says we're going to be going back into slavery. Why? Because we disobeyed the Most High. Why? Because we decided to worship a piece of wood and be Christian. We decided to worship a granite, a sediment, and be a Muslim. That's why. You understand? And that's what a Muslim that says Allah is God and Muhammad is the messenger of Allah on TikTok. Listen, Allah is Iraq and Muhammad is a child molester. I said it. Y'all could look it up. I'm not making this up. He out of all the wives he had to choose a 9-year-old to be his favorite wife. That's crazy. And he had to dress in her garment to be able to get prophecy. That's in your book. Bear with me 1 second. Okay. You know. And when we get punished for disobeying the law, let's understand that there's a reason why we're being punished. Let's understand that it's like getting checked. In the I.S.U.P.K, we understand why we're getting checked. You know, when a man above you is checking you, he doesn't have something against you. You understand? It's brotherhood. Getting checked is brotherhood. Getting checked is love. Why? Because you actually might be doing something wrong. And letting that slide, you're probably most likely bound to repeat that same action. You understand? That's why getting checked is a brotherhood. Getting checked is love. It's not nothing wrong. Listen, hey, Salakia, maybe you want to put the drink down for a second. It's not. Don't take your brother to the side and tell him, yo, listen, hey, maybe you might have a little too much to drink. Let me take you home, whatever the case is, and let's talk tomorrow about that issue, whatever the case is. Let's check if you need even listen. I myself requested to get checked one time, and I was told by my camp leader, you ain't doing nothing wrong, but it's not a bad thing to get checked or even to request to get checked. Shit, you might want to make sure you ain't doing nothing wrong, because getting checked is love. Correction is love. And if you know you need correction, seek it. Don't be like those weed heads saying, I'm going to smoke till I die. I'm going to smoke forever. Weed cures cancer. Weed is what the Rastafarians say, the healing of the nations. You understand? Don't be like that. Seek correction. Seek help. Seek counsel. You understand? And don't hate it. Before I address this comment on the TikTok, let me read this. Proverbs chapter 3, verse 11. It says what? My son, despise not the chastening of the Lord. Don't despise being checked, especially not by God. Listen, I'm going to show y'all, especially when we remember when we lost our heritage and identity, and now that we start to remember it, we understand when we're getting checked by God. We're getting checked We're getting checked the hell out because we decided to eat pork. We got to check the hell out because we decided to sleep with whores, because we don't understand sex is marriage. And when we do, we don't care. That's why we're getting checked by the Most High. Getting checked by the Most High because we decide to worship Christianity. We decide to adopt Islam, Buddhism, Hinduism. That's what we're getting checked by the Most High. Let's not despise getting checked by the Most High. Let's not despise the chastening of the Lord, his judgments. Listen, just like a criminal, right? For those on TikTok, bear with me for a second. Just like a criminal, you're selling drugs, you get arrested, now you go to jail, you do your time. I'm not saying enjoy being in prison. My point is, don't hate the judgment that you got. You're a criminal. You should not have sold those drugs. There's only two ways for you to end up when you're being a criminal. You're selling drugs, you're gonna be dead or in jail. Now you avoided death, you're in jail. It is what it is. You should not have been a criminal. You should not have sold those drugs. But don't hate the judge for sentencing you to jail. Like you want to say, F the judge, these people are racist. Brother, you're selling drugs. You know, who was it again? There's a cartel boss that just got arrested. He wants to complain about, well, I got set up. I got kidnapped. Listen, you should not have sold drugs. And I'm okay, in a sense where even though we understand a lot of things that our people do because of their oppression, and oppression make it the wise men mad, like Ecclesiastes 1:7 says, or is it 7:7? It's in Ecclesiastes. I'm gonna pull it up just for y'all. The point is, right, there are consequences to your actions. You understand? So now, don't start hating the judge and say, F the judge, like in the rap songs, when you are actually guilty of the crime you committed and you got sentenced for it when you got caught. The judge is just doing their job. Now, I'm not talking about those racist judge, those biased judge, whatever. I'm just talking about a regular judge saying, you know what, you sold drugs, 5 years in jail. Or you had a firearm you were not supposed to have, 5 years in jail. Listen, you understand? Don't carry a firearm if you're not supposed to. You're a felon, you can't carry a firearm, don't do it. You understand? You're sentenced in jail because, not because of self-defense, because you just, you were pissed off and you unalived someone. Now you're mad at the judge because they sentenced you to jail. Listen, don't be mad at God because you disobeyed his laws and now he has to put you in chains again. Don't be mad at God because he told you not to smoke and now you have cancer for the rest of your life. Don't be mad at God. You the one who disobeyed. All he do is check you. That's just for the life that you're in right now, because you're coming back, and Lord willing, when you're coming back, you don't disobey one law and you learned your lesson. Just like, don't despise your parent when he's taking away your Xbox. Don't despise your parent when he's telling you, you can't hang out with these people no more. You're not going to summer camp. You're going to summer school. Don't despise the parent for that. Told you study, get good grades. You didn't want to study. You wanted to play around in class, get bad grades. Now you have to go to summer school. Don't blame your parents for that. You decided not to listen in class. You decided not to listen in school. You decided to disobey. Then you want to complain because you're getting chastised? Don't. The thing is, the only reason why you don't like being chastised is because the Christian church told you God hates the sin and not the sinner. So you think, why am I being punished if God only despises my action, but he still loves me? Why am I being punished? The laws are done away with. Why am I being punished? The Christian church lied to you. The laws are not done away with. And God hates both sin and sinner. God hates the sin and loves the sinner is nowhere in the Bible. Again, that's Gandhi who came up with that. And Martin Luther King, who plagiarized from Gandhi, just repeated that. And because of your Christian mind, you thought, you know what, he's a man of God. Whatever he says goes. Just join hand in hands with little white boys and white girls and shit. Y'all did it. But give me 1 second. I'm going to just address that comment on TikTok real quick. Right. Islam is the original religion of man and the first religion. That's an absolute lie. Islam is 600 years. Islam came about 600 years after Christ. They were already Christian. Islam the youngest religion. Talking about the oldest. That's crazy. What is your opinion on Palestine? I don't have an opinion on Palestine. Whatever's going on over there is horrible. But then again, I could only show so much focus on the people. I would have to focus on my people. Even for argument's sake, if I would ever want to help the Palestinians, how can I help any other people if I can't even help mine first? Not that I want to help, but not that I will. But listen, the only way that the Palestinians will be free is when we will be ruling the planet Earth. That's it. Because under us, there will be no more cries. Let me pull that up real quick and then get back on topic. Right? Let me show you that under our kingdom, there will be no more cries and no oppression. You understand? Give me 1 second. Baba Kusha. Proverbs chapter 29, verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. The Palestinians will not cry ever again once the Israelites, the real Jews the Bible speaks of, not the imposter bombing them every day and night, but when the real Jews the Bible speaks of are in rulership, they will rejoice. When they are our captives, like we were their captives, they will rejoice. Once we have them as handmaids and hand servants, they will rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. The reason why they're mourning right now and getting bombed left and right is because the wicked is in rulership, because a bastard is in Ashdod. You understand? Because an imposter is ruling right now. That's why they're crying every day and night. But when we'll be in rulership, there'll be no more cries. There'll be no more wars. That's how you know that the people over there oppressing the Palestinians are not the real Jews the Bible speaks of. They're the fake ones, right? They're the synagogue of Satan, because when the real Jews are in rulership, there will not be any more wars. Revelation 21:4, and God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes. Nobody will ever cry again about being oppressed, about being bombed, about being starved, about a genocide being committed on them, an ethnic cleansing, because when the righteous are in rulership, the people rejoice. God will wipe away all tears from their eyes. And there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away. The war is going to be done away with when Christ comes back. Done. Never again will you hear about a nation committing a genocide on another nation. Why? Because we will not let it happen. We will be ruling. We will set the rules. And we will shut shit down, Salakia. You understand? We're not going to have any renegade slaves running around and think they're going to do whatever they want to do. It's not going to happen. You understand? We will shut it down with the quickness. Nations will know that our God is the only God, and they have to follow the laws too. They will. Otherwise, off with their heads. So I hope I answered your question. You understand? So now I'm going to ignore you because clearly you're saying something stupid in the chat. Listen, Allah is a pebble. He's not a God. Or, yeah, he's a God, but he's not true God. He's a false God. He's a false deity. How are you able to trace your lineage to the Israelites? Multiple ways to identify who the Israelites are. One is the curses, and also there are also archaeological proof, you understand, of who are the Israelites, such as the Native American Indians, the Los Lunas stones, the caves in Puerto Rico, right? The Hebrew translator that Christopher Columbus had when he came over here, amongst other things. You understand? Now I'm going to address this last comment, and I'm going to ignore the troll. The information you have on Islam is a lie given to you by your enemy. Read the Holy Quran. The Holy Quran says the nation of Israel is chosen. That's what your Quran says. So go read your Quran for yourself. You understand? Go read the Hadith where Muhammad was a cross-dresser. Go read the books that you don't even know about. The class is not about Islam, so I'm going to ignore the rest. Feel free to stay, but you're muted. You're on timeout, just like we're on timeout. Right? Let's come back to it. All right. The topic again is love is correction, and we should not despise the correction of the Lord, especially when you learn that you are an Israelite. The reason you don't understand you're an Israelite because, okay, some of the reasons, it's not just only one reason, right? The church is misusing our book. You understand? They claim that our book is a Christian book. Our book is a religious book. So we think, it's a white man's book. They say, well, we enslaved them with this book, which is a lie. Y'all look up. We met the history class about that. During slavery, we had a slave Bible, which is damn near 10% of the Old Testament and 10% of the New Testament, something like that. The point is, they took out damn near most of the Bible and just used a few verses, misused a few verses in order to keep us subservient to them. Because of that, we think the Bible is a white man's book. We think that those people, just because, whatever the white man says goes. So when these people over there say that they're the real Jews, we believe that they're the real Jews. Listen, we've been telling you since 1969, Christ is black. Y'all had to wait for a Russian white man to tell you the Jews are black to believe it. So whatever the white man says goes. That's one of the reasons why we don't know that we're Jews. We don't know that we are the Israelites. We are the chosen people of the Most High, because you better believe whatever the white man says. Because we're conditioned. Listen, after being lynched and fed to gators and having our women belly slit open so they could snatch the baby and bash its heads across the rocks and tree trunks, we just say, you know what, whatever master says goes. We're tired of being murdered all types of sadistic way. So we just say, you know what, whatever the white man says goes. And when he gives us a crumb of the pie that he gets from our oppression, we say, maybe the white man is not so bad. And that's the Stockholm syndrome that we suffer from. In the I.S.U.P.K, we break those chains that's on your mind. And we let you know that not only the white man is the devil, that makes my smile wider every day. But we give you your heritage. Without your heritage, you're nothing. The proof is that without your heritage, you would not know that you have a moral code to abide by. You will not understand the reason why you're being punished. Because yes, you keep asking yourself, why is God punishing me this way? Why is God punishing me left and right? I'm trying to do good and this and that. I can't keep a job. Listen, maybe you can't keep a job. That's not God's fault, right? Our oppressor is a monster, and we're oppressed. We're slaves and we're oppressed. But now you're going to ask yourself, why are we oppressed and not the other nations? Because you sinned. What do you mean because I sinned? Maybe it's not you personally. It's your forefathers. It's your people. We're being judged, just like we could be judged as individuals, we could be judged as a nation. That's what we need to understand. And unfortunately, a lot of us, y'all today in class, we're giving you this knowledge. You're going to reject it. This is why we're destroyed. Let's go to Hosea chapter 4, verse 6. Right? Hey, Shalom, Sharash, Yabash, Shrak, thought the word for tuning in. In the book of Hosea, chapter 4, verse 6. Hosea chapter 4, verse 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Listen, you don't know better. You don't know you should not sin. You don't even know what a sin is. You understand? You don't even know that there's laws that you need to abide by. Then again, when you come to this class, here's what happens. Because thou has rejected the knowledge, you just don't give a damn. Because you want to be like everyone else. You don't have laws to abide by. Well, we don't have laws to abide by. You don't have laws, so you don't want the laws because they don't have it. Because you reject that knowledge. And if when you reject that knowledge, God did what? I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no more, no priest to me. Listen, God said, you don't want to listen to, you want to reject the knowledge I gave you? I reject you also. That's why you're subservient to every single nation on the face of the earth. That's the punishment that you get for saying, you know what, Dad, I don't want to listen to you. You want to listen to me? No sweat. Shalom. Lord be with you. You know. That's what happened. A lot of us don't know no better. God is winking at our ignorance. But then a lot of y'all are coming into class not for the first time. And after class, you're probably going to turn off the class and go smoke a blunt. Turn off the class, go eat some pork. After class, you're probably going to sleep with a whore or pimp one out because you rejected the knowledge. I think it's boring to abide by the laws of the Bible. Listen, the Bible is not boring. Go read the Bible. It's all, listen, the Bible is if you would make the greatest movie ever, the Bible is the best script. From Genesis to Revelations. Y'all will not know any better because you refuse that knowledge. You're a special people. You're the number one, the cream of the crop. And because you want to be like the other nations, you bring yourself down to their level of lawlessness. When you have laws, statutes, commandments, and judgments that you will suffer when disobeying those laws. But now it's time for you to understand that after losing our heritage in the last captivity that we're in, when we gain it back, and I'm going to show you the last captivity as well, but gaining back our heritage, we will understand, well, you know what? We're the people that the book is talking about. We have laws to abide by. We have a moral code. We have instructions. And there's consequences with breaking these laws and instructions. You understand? So now you understand the reason why black and brown hate each other. You understand the reason why you're on child support. You understand the reason why you're oppressed unlike any single other nation. Listen, the Chinese, they come over here, they're not oppressed. They come over here, they establish Chinatown, they segregate themselves, and no one says a damn thing about it. And they'll say in Mandarin, the white man is the devil. And no one tells them they're wrong. You understand? But you can't do that. Just like in Greece, where we were forbidden to identify as Israelites, they don't want you to say that you're the real Jew the Bible speaks of. But understanding who we are is the start to fix our community. It's the start to fix all of the problems that we go through. Every single nation are able to flourish because they know who they are. They have whatever laws they create in their society, even though they're all part of the white man society, whatever religious belief they have to guide them, they would not be anything without, even though religion is stupid in the first place, the point is they have something to guide them. They have an identity, they have a culture, they have a land, they have a foundation and a structure. Our foundation and structure is the Bible. Again, just like Hosea chapter 4 and 6, we lack this knowledge. Some of us do. Some of us just reject it. Why again they reject it? Because they lack the knowledge that the Bible is not a white man's book. That's why. This is why being in these classes, seeing us on the street, listening to us, paying attention is so important. Calling the class number, calling the school's number, calling Cross the Line Radio, every single show that we have, tune into every single classes, just like John Hyman's classes. That's about to start in the next 20 minutes. You understand? One West Online Classes headquarters. The point is, we're giving you the knowledge that you lack to be able to fix our community. Y'all always like to say, well, how can we fix our community? How can we fix blacks and browns and natives? How can we get the land back? How can we do this? How can we get off of drugs? How can we get our women to stop being monsters? How can we make our black men care and make them men again? It's a simple thing. Come to class, do your 90 days, get a Hebrew name, learn how to be a man of the Lord, learn how to be a virtuous woman, learn how to raise children, learn how to be a brother, a father, a mother, a cousin, a sister. Learn how to be the people that the Bible speaks of again. Why I say again? Because even though we lost our heritage, we're getting it back. Listen, better late than never. But then again, when I say better late than never, the time is short. You know, we're under grace right now. We have time to change. We have time to fix ourselves. And it's not time for you to just reject the knowledge. Listen, you want to be a sodomite right now? The monkeypox is flaring up around the world. Listen, I'm not going to tie you to a tree and tell you not to be a sodomite and just, listen, force you to stop. No, so I'm going to tell you, listen, you're going to be a sodomite, you're going to catch the monkeypox, you're going to die a painful, slow death. Lord be with you. But I'm correct. I'm telling you right now. You understand? Let's go real quick to Baruch chapter 2, verse 28. Right, we're short on time. Probably going to do a part 2 next week. Right? Lord allow. Baruch chapter 2 verse 28 says, as thou spakest by thy servant Moses in the day when thou did command him to write the law before the children of Israel, saying, verse 29, Salakia, if ye will not hear my voice, surely this very great multitude shall be turned into a small number among the nations, where I will scatter them. Again, this is one of the curses that we went through. We were scattered among all the nations. What are we called? We're called a minority. Everywhere. Yes, then we're supposed to be, listen, we're not even supposed to be numbered. We're supposed to be like the grain of sand on the beach and the stars in the sky. You can't number us, you know. We're scattered among all these nations. There's Israelites everywhere. We can't even, we think we can't come together because we're all throughout the four corners of the earth, following all types of manners of sin and heathen customs. But really, it's that simple. Wherever you are on the face of the earth, we can gather together. We can come back to being one body again. How? Come to class. Come to class, change your life, get your Hebrew name. And that's how we'll manage to get somewhere. For once. Now, right? Baruch chapter 2, verse 30. For I knew they would not hear me because they did a stiff-necked people. This is why you reject the knowledge. This is why you refuse to understand that the Bible is not a white man's book. You're a stiff-necked people. You're hard-headed. That's what it means. You're hard-headed. You refuse to understand. Yeah, the Bible is not a white man's book. The Jews are black. Christ is not a sodomite-looking white boy with a Roman toga on. No, he's a nigga. And listen, he has a fierce look on his face. You understand? He didn't look soft like Caesar Borgia that they portray to be Christ as in the church. He didn't look like that. You understand? You look at Christ, you probably bow your head down because you're afraid. You probably relieve yourself on yourself because that's how that he's an austere man that, listen, you would put fear into his enemies' eyes. Christ was not no soft man. You understand? But because you're stubborn, you think, well, the white man runs the world, so he must know better. He's successful in everything he does. He must know better. He really doesn't. You want to know how? You want to know the proof that the white man don't know better about anything? Really, he's not even smart enough to invent the doorknob. We had to do that for them. We had to invent the dustpan, the doorknob, damn fridge. They would not have been able to land on the moon without sisters working for NASA. Damn, the whole sewage system, they had to model it after the Mayans and the Incas. The white man is not smart. He's just good at committing genocide and rape and being a criminal. That's it. Besides that, white man is an idiot. But because you see he has money, because you see Hugh Hefner around, good night, 20, 50 women, damn near half of them are minors, but that's besides the point. The point is, because he puts an idea of what being successful is in front of your eyes, and he controls the world, and he controls the propaganda being put out, you think, well, you know what? He knows better because look at what he does. Look at his status. Look at what he got. You don't even know what's a proper family structure. The family structure that you have in mind is because that's what he puts out. One man, one woman, 2 to 3 children, a house, smiling with a fresh cut, looking like a sodomite Christian, and say happy wife, happy life, and having a dog and a cat, and that's it, working for America. That's what you think success is. Why? Because that's what the white man told you that success was. You're stiff-necked people not understand that you should not listen. You should not listen to your oppressor. You should not trust your enemy. Let's get that real quick, and then we'll get back to Baruch. Right? This is in Ecclesiasticus, if I'm not mistaken, chapter 12. Give me 1 second, Baba Kushab. Da 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 da. Ecclesiasticus chapter 12, verse 10. All right, let me share the screen. It says, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness. Just like iron is bound to rust, your enemy is bound to show you how much of an evil bastard he is. Never trust your enemy. But you don't know better because of the image he puts out of what being successful is. Because you're such a stiff-necked people, you don't know that you should not trust your enemy. You should not listen to what white people say when they say, you know what, y'all are super predators. You know what, Mexicans steals all the black jobs. What black jobs do Mexicans steals? They work in the fields. One of my great friend, you understand, of Mexican descent was working in the wine field. He was making sure white people are able to drink the most pristine wine working in the vineyards. Y'all call that a black job. What black man wants to work in the fields? You understand? Mexicans are, they do some of the most prestigious landscaping work. When's the last time you seen a whole black company working for landscaping? What black jobs do Mexicans steal? You believe Mexicans steal black jobs because that's what the white man says. You reject the knowledge that the Bible is your book, so you will not understand to never trust your enemy. You're a stiff-necked people who refuse that knowledge. That's why you refuse the knowledge, because you're stiff-necked. But here's the thing. But in the land of their captivities, they shall remember themselves. We will remember who we are in the land of our captivity, in Canada, in America, throughout the Americas, in the Caribbean, in the UK, in France. Wherever we are, wherever the I.S.U.P.K is, our people will remember who they are. It might take one, it could take 3 or 4 one man to come into the truth, but that seed that was planted, sprouted, and bared some fruits. You understand? And that fruit, that tree bared from the seed that was planted, from listening to these classes, itself will have more seed planted. And Lord allow they sprout as well, just like that brother or sister did, and the truths keep spreading, especially in the perilous time that we're in right now. It's not time to keep on sinning and just take on more judgments and punishments from the Lord. It's time to sit in class, understand that the reason why we're being punished because the Lord loves us and doesn't want us to go through that again. Just like any good parent, he hates having to punish us. He has to do it because he's the best father in the world. And you're not. The reason that you're not the best parent in the world because you smoke weed with your kids. Because you're a mother that dresses like a whore, that makes her daughters dress like a whore. You understand? And you probably have the same mind of Ambrose saying, stop slut shaming. Bring back slut shaming, as a matter of fact. What are you talking about? You're a horrible parent because you don't follow the law, statutes, and commandments. And we're here to check you on that. You understand? Now let's go back to Baruch real quick to understand the reason why. That now that we know that in our captivity, we shall remember ourselves and understand that we're the people of the Bible, we will understand that, yeah, you know what? Now we understand why we're being punished. Right? This is Baruch chapter 3, verse 8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse. We're in a captivity because we know the Most High scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and we understand why we're going through these curses because we remember who we are. We would not listen. If the Most High really was done away with, really had forsaken the nation of Israel, why even remember who we are? Well, why even go back to following the law, statutes, and commandments? The Most High never forsaken us forever. He knows, just like you're not gonna tell your child you're punished forever and you're not gonna come. He or she is not gonna come back into your grace on your good side. No, you're punished for a time. Maybe not as long as God punishes us, because 400 years for us is not 400 years for the Most High. Good night. I have a restriction on TikTok. What did I say that pissed off TikTok? I don't know, but I didn't get clipped because I missed the unclippable. The point is, we understand, coming back to our heritage, we understand that the reason we're being punished is because we disobeyed our Father. We disobeyed our God, which is the only one true God on the face of the earth. Let's read it again. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments according to all the iniquities of our fathers which departed from the Lord our God. Maybe you didn't do something specifically. Maybe it's not you. Maybe you're the most upright citizen ever. You never had a ticket. You think you never sinned. You understand? You think you should not deserve this punishment. Listen, we all do. We all do. I don't know what type of life I was, living before I was born physically. Probably I was a sinner. We were all sinners. And even then, for that one Israelite that never was a sinner, that think he never was a sinner, listen, you're not being judged as an individual. We're being judged as a nation, according to all the iniquities of our fathers. We didn't go through one slavery. We went to the Egyptian, to the Assyrian, the Persian, the Babylonian, the Greeks, the Romans. God kept putting us in slavery for disobeying the Most High. You understand? Time after time. I mean, it's not rocket science. We need to. This is what we need to understand. It's not the first time. It is the last, though. It is the last. Let me show you an example. Right? This is in the First Maccabees chapter 1 verse 11. In those days, when they're out of Israel, wicked men who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. They're saying the same thing the Israelites were saying in the times of Moses. Listen, we left Egypt, we're in the wilderness, now we're starving. In Egypt, at least we had 1 meal a day. Now we're starving, and we want to go back to Egypt. These Israelites, during the time of Judah's Maccabees, you understand, under the Greeks, well, they say, you know what? Let's make a pact. Let's make a deal with the Greeks, you know, because now that we're separating ourselves from the Greeks, listen, we feel like ish. Salaki. We feel like, you know, Salaki. We feel like shit. Salaki. You'd rather be like the Greeks and work out in the gym naked instead of having morals and standards. You'd rather be like the Greeks and eat pork instead of dying righteous like that woman and her 7 children and her 7 sons, who, unlike the Muslims who have an exception when it comes to eat pork if there's nothing else to eat, because according to the Quran, Allah will never let them starve to death. There's nothing to eat, let me starve to death. You understand? They were forced to eat pork, they refused, and they were tortured and unalived because they would not compromise the love of God, which is to follow the commandments, and not eat pork. For what? For 1 more day in Greek captivity? Listen, take me out right now. I'll be back in the most righteous kingdom ever, the only righteous kingdom. You understand? But because of those men, of those wicked men in 1 Maccabees chapter 1 verse 11, this is the reason why God kept bringing us in captivity. This is the reason why. You understand? We should not trust the enemy. We should not even integrate. We should not even look at these nations like, you know what, this might look interesting. Let me bow my head down and prostrate five times a day to a rock. Let me worship a fat Chinese man. This looked interesting. Let me meditate every day and smoke weed. No, we should not even look at these nations like it's interesting. We have laws that should tell us, you know what these heathens do is nasty, is disgusting. That alternative lifestyle, you know, is punishable by death. It's an abomination. Look up what the word abomination means. It means something disgusting in the eyes of the Most High. You know, it's repugnant. You understand? It's not something we should observe. And, okay, let me add to that statement where, let's say you get into a battle or an argument, you get into a discussion. There's nothing wrong in learning what the Hindus do, just to go back and forth into an argument. But now to observe and practice what they practice, that's where you mess up, and that's where the Most High is going to judge you for that. You understand? But we're definitely going to do a part 2 because we're running short on time, right? Yakawan, I didn't forget. I'm gonna get with you. I'm gonna get with you in a minute, right? I'm gonna get with you in a minute, Yakawan. I didn't forget. And I will also break down that specific precept next week in class. 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 4 and 5. The law is not done away with. You can't eat pork, you can't eat shrimp, you can't eat lobster. And if you can't eat unlawful meats, why not eat bushmeat? Why not eat human flesh? The Christian's gonna say, well, it's unlawful. Well, guess what? Pork is unlawful, and you're an idiot. You don't know the Bible. If you want to know the Bible, come to class. That's it. That's all. With that said, we're gonna get the security announcements, the water for everyone who tuned in. We're definitely gonna do a part 2. Tune in tomorrow on I.S.U.P.K Montreal for the Lashawan Kodash in French, right? We have classes from Monday to Friday. As a matter of fact, I teach a history class every Monday from 5 to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Brotherhood class in French from 5 to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The law class taught by Officer Adiyar in French from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Officer Zabaja will teach it in Toronto in English from 5 to 7 Eastern Standard Time as well in I.S.U.P.K Toronto. Thursday, like today, I teach the Brotherhood class in English from 5 to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and tomorrow again in Lashon Kodash. With that said, clap it up. We're going to get a security announcement and see you tomorrow, Israel. Shalom. We are the I.S.U.P.K, started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Under Commander General YAHANNA, rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they're off limits for 6 months. They're to be saluted only. They're here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After the 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. TITHES, which is a commandment. Numbers chapter 18, verse 21, and Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 to 10. Means tenth in the Hebrew, ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, gives to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you like. Upcoming holy convocation, we have the memorial of blowing of trumpets, which is Wednesday, October 2nd. You can read more about it in Leviticus chapter 23, verse 24 to 25. A location will be announced for I.S.U.P.K Montreal briefly in the next coming weeks. Reminder to all Akim and Aquathian to check the bulletin board in the hallway of the school to have a physical location. And if anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black, boots, shirt, pant, headband, and scarf. With that, they will give a courtesy salute to the brothers and a courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, Imajim, which means to stand, will give a courtesy salute to the brothers. Right, give me 1 second. Men of Israel, Imajim Shabbat. Imajim, Barak, Yahweh Ba Hashem Yahweh Shai Brakatham, which means Yahweh in the name of Yahweh Shai bless y'all. Yajamata, which means hands down. Sar, which means to turn and face. The sisters will give them a courtesy salute as well. Men of Israel, Imajim Shabbat. Imajim, Barak, Yahweh Shamar Alathan Ba Hashem Yahweh Shai, meaning Yahweh watch over y'all in the name of Yahweh Shai. Yajamata, class dismissed.
Serious, and you're looking for a Christ man, the one who anointed with the Lord, with the Spirit of the Lord, to do His will. I'm that nigga.
1 West, 125th Street. Look, y'all put your faith in presidents like they gon' change this country. Run the league and let y'all play, cause y'all gon' make a money. Fuck Obama, he ain't come here on cargo.
Imagine I don't lack no soldiers. For the spirit of the Lord, we don't lack no soldiers. You understand me?
Saint, black, Hispanic, native, they hate y'all as the same. Hate Christ and they image, paint you as a slave. God ain't all love, scriptures say he hate African soft niggas, they know we not the same. School to prison pipeline to get you off the streets. Put you in a cell toilet connected to the sink. Molested as a kid, she prostituted as a teen. The byproduct of Martin Luther King dream. They just took the yoke off, my nigga, we ain't free. We living bleak in these wastelands of poverty. If you don't know the truth, then the lies sound promising. Prophecy, gift and the curse. Dylan started killing, they was sitting in church. Black folk forgave him, man, this shit is absurd. You should never love your enemy, that shit ain't gon' work. Yeah, fuck dying on your knees, you better die in glory. Man, I joined the UPK, taught me the art of warring. I took a nigga life like mine to be recognized. I feel that pain every day, it can't be reconciled. Pops banging, my sister a prostitute. My brother got life, and somehow I still found the truth. War ready, no cowards, no excuse. Fuck reparations, you can't bandage no open wounds. Blood on the leaves, body swing hung from a noose. I was on a run in Nashville and I found the truth. I called the school, classes being held by the shock on my life. I want to be a gangster like a cop. Do this for my brothers, real brotherhood. Everything we do, we got it out this book. My nigga, I can never be no African. You authorized acronym. I'm passionate about my brothers and sisters. We in hell, I ain't got nothing against them. That's another religion. If it ain't under YAHANNA, ain't he murdered by them and got a hug from YAHANNA. That's the way out for a coward in my observation. They don't fear the Lord, they indoctrinated. Wolves in sheep clothing, Joe Osteen. Real priest bringing back black royalty. One West on my headpiece,